Gundamiverse action. We're giving away an entire set of Gundamiverse from Wave 1 all the way to Wave 4, which includes the Tallgeese and the Burning Gundam. Just released, you know. You can be one of the first kids on your block to have this thing and be the coolest, and everyone will want to come to your house and play with you. So go to bluefinbrands.com/contest so you can enter to win this. It's super easy. It should take you no more than like 2 minutes to enter like 30 times. And we'll be announcing the winner sometime a week after next. So after Thanksgiving is when we'll make our announcement of who the winner was. Again, bluefinbrands.com/contest. You can also follow at bluefinbrands and at Tamashii Nations for individual pieces they're giving away. So while you're there, go to bluefinbrands.com and check out all the amazing sales. You know, we got a ton of great stuff over there. We got sales on Studio Ghibli items, some Tamashii Nation stuff, and just some really, really fun stuff. But we're talking about Jujutsu Kaisen. Sorry, it's a mouthful. It's a new series you can watch streaming on Crunchyroll. I am currently only 2 episodes in, but I know some of the other folks are a little farther in, and Sean is new to the franchise. So let's go. Hey, look at Taya. We summoned her with our minds. So real quick, Justin's actually the one who turned me on to the show. So I'll start with you, Justin. Justin, how are you enjoying the show? And are you current?
Oh man, yeah, I am eating it up just like that finger, man. I'm enjoying every second of it. And it's funny because AJ got me into the show. And I was like, what the heck are you talking about? He's like talking about this guy that eats a finger. And I'm like, dude, that's gross. What are you watching? He's like, no, it's this new anime. We got products coming for it. And I'm like, you're nuts. And then I watched it and I was like glued to my TV. I binged like the first 4 episodes and then every Friday. So tomorrow we'll have a new episode. So that's exciting stuff. Yeah. Absolutely love it though.
But he's nuts too now for it.
So AJ, since you're the one who turned Justin onto the show, we have you to blame for all of this. Then
that's perfectly fine. Like, wait, what?
Are you current on the show?
Oh yeah. I'm completely caught up. I will say I was caught on by my friend who told me he was hyping it up for like months on end. And then it finally showed up, and he's like, you have to watch. I'm like, sure, dude. I will watch. And then as soon as I watched it, all right, you got me. I will watch this.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Especially with, like, the opening theme song gets you all jazzed, and then when it's over, you got, like, the really cool jam, and you're rocking out to it, too. It's freaking great.
Yeah.
So Sean, I know you haven't watched the show yet, but have you heard really anything about the show yet? Or are you coming into this live stream kind of blind?
I've only seen the trailers, so I'm going in pretty blind. I did see what Tamashi's bringing, so I did see that finger, and I was kind of like, they're making a replica of a finger? What? Like, yeah, it's like, I want to know more about it before I, like, take the big deep dive. I've kind of poked at David a little bit about what I've heard. People are saying it's like Naruto. So I think David's got some answers for me about that. I saw the trailer, and I was like, is this like card captors for like high school guys or something? It was kind of like that with monsters and everything like that. So David, you got to give us some answers, or everyone's got to give me some answers on this, because I saw like, that. Yeah,
like I feel like everyone's consensus, as soon as like Proplica had shown it on Instamashi, everyone was like, what is that? Like, what's up with that? But like only 1 episode had aired at the time. So it was so fresh and new that like, I wouldn't blame anyone for not knowing what it was. And as soon as I saw it, I was like, yo, they're making this? That's crazy.
And it's a hand holding a finger too. Like that's the main picture. It's like, and then we got that picture too. So it's like,
do not eat that.
Do not eat.
Yeah, do not eat.
Someone's going to try and gain ultimate demonic power by doing that. Do not do that.
Someone's got a hospital bill.
Dip it in Purell first.
Somewhere in Japan, they've already made a gummy version, I'm sure. Well, what about you, Dave? How have you been on the Kaizen train this whole time?
Yeah, I mean, I saw, I heard about it, I think actually from a group chat that I'm in with AJ, actually, and I remember watching the trailer, and I saw that there was hand signs, like you know, that they use it like in Naruto and other animes, and I'm like, bro, there's hand signs in it? I'm in. I'm all about that. And I'm current, and I'm enjoying it. so far I like the panda guy. Like there's an actual panda in the show. Like, instant win.
In the intro, he's doing like some parkour, and I think even when I saw that, I was like, "The panda parkour."
Just parkour. I'm
sure,
just like,
I will agree.
I'm like, I'm in. You got me, 100%.
What about you, Aya? Have you been watching the show?
Yeah, actually, the Justin is the person who brought this idea. I didn't know you heard from AJ first, so it's pretty surprised. But I think like a few weeks ago or a month ago, like Justin suddenly saying that like there's a funny show, like you guys should watch it. And then actually I started reading the comic instead of anime. I haven't checked any episode in anime. Probably gonna check it soon, but. Last night I was reading the Jujutsu Kaisen, the comic version, and then it's so good. Like I'm really glad that Justin introduced this to me. It's, the character, the storyline, it's so good. Yeah,
that's great. And so we all have AJ to thank. It's funny because like I'm just such a loudmouth that he was talking about it, and I'm just like, oh my god! Then I get like a bullhorn, and I'm just announcing to the whole office, everyone's got to watch this show.
I mean, he didn't mention, hey, AJ told me to watch this show. It was, hey, I discovered this show all on my own.
That's not true.
Now it's a success.
AJ was talking about the blog, and he was like, yeah, we're going to be selling this stuff. And I was like, what are you even talking about? What is this gross thing? So AJ brought it up to all of us. You just weren't listening. How about that?
As soon as I see product for that stuff, it hypes me up like, where is this from? Oh, I got to check it out.
You see?
Yeah. So, I mean, you start off the Proplica, but we're also going to have some figure arts for it. I apologize to everybody. I am terrible with names in my personal life, and so once we get into fictional character names, I am also terrible. But I can tell you this character whose name starts with an S, so I can't remember, is my favorite character. I just love his attitude and just his cockiness. And like I said, I'm only 2 episodes in, but in the beginning of the second episode, we won't get into too much spoilers, but he has to have a confrontation, and the whole time he's like, my students here, I got to make it look good. And he's just like, at no point was I worried this character was going to get hurt. So,
he's hella broken, dude.
I think he's the fan favorite. I think the term, like a lot of people are like, oh, he's like husbando material at this point. And I'm surprised too. Like the SH figure has him revealing his eyes as well, and that is a recent thing. And the moment that happened, that was like, wow, those are pretty.
And there's in the last episode, in episode 7, he reveals his little, takes off his blindfold, and he's having like this super mega showdown with this demon that we're exposed as being like the cool, or this curse that's like the ultimate like fire curse, and he's kicking so much ass and burning all these people, and then it's like it's literally like a god amongst insects, and he just Gojo just annihilates this dude. It's so badass.
I think like since Aya does a lot of like the graphic designs, I think when you watch the anime, you'll notice like how pretty like a lot of the art style will be, like when it colors, especially when they get to when he reveals that. I think the moment I saw him, like I have to pause it. That is beautifully painted and everything.
Yeah, like beginning of the story, like he always hide the eyes, so like I was imagining like how he looks like in the beginning of the show, and then finally when he like reveal it, I was like, yes, he's super nice looking.
Swoon.
And then I was reading the comic, so actually like first time see his eye color in the figures. And then this figure's eye color is so like beautiful, the green color. So I think the figure itself is really beautiful, well made.
Yeah.
And I'm so appreciate that they make the show the face in the figures. It's the huge point for the fan.
You mentioned the art style, AJ, and one thing that's cool is that when one person's talking or another person's thinking while that person's talking, sometimes the animation will switch, like it shows their perception of them as being like just like some goofy idiot or something like that, and so the art style completely changes, and they're like, oh my god, this guy's a total moron, or he looks like a talking potato. Stuff like that. It's so funny.
I like that style though. I like it when you take all seriousness, but you're like, all right, let's change it up to like a 4-panel comic, and just simple lines drawing, and there you go. I think even with the most recent episode, he's like, hold my hand, and that
Yeah.
just like the art style just changed on that.
Totally.
Yeah, I like. I guess we will be talking mild spoilers. So if you want to remain completely spoiler free, maybe come back to us after you watch the episode. We're not going to be any major plot points out, I don't think. But I agree with you. The art style, my favorite in the only episodes I've seen was when he meets the principal, and the principal's just like sitting there knitting like little stuffed animals. He's getting his butt kicked by this purple kind of bear.
The stuffed animals are hilarious. I like the one that he has to constantly feed energy into it so it doesn't wake up and start beating him in the face. So he's like watching a movie while holding it. That little thing is hilarious. Like I would buy plushies of those. So
I was going to ask you that. Would you buy a plush?
If you're listening, I would buy those plushies. They're hilarious.
Yeah, and when he meets the principal, he's like, I'm this years old, and I love Jennifer Lawrence, and you're like, what? What are you talking about?
I know you mentioned that.
That's so funny.
That was a name drop I wasn't expecting.
Yeah, I was like,
if you notice in I think it was last episode or maybe the episode before, he was actually talking naming some techniques that he wants to be able to do.
Dude,
Rasengan was in there. I was like, yo, I'm like, okay, he knows.
I forgot to ask you about that too. I was like,
I watched
David.
So meta.
And he's like watching Lord of the Rings, and there's like the fun little scene where it's like Frodo and Sam in the boat on the water at the end of Fellowship and everything. It's so awesome. Oh my god, I love this show.
I think John has questions.
I got a few
quick questions since she's read the manga. Is the manga and the anime pretty faithful to each other, or is it like most mediums to where they diverge quite a bit?
I think the pretty much same. Probably I haven't checked anime yet, but I watched a trailer and then it looks 3D animation to me. It's the hybrid of the 2D and 3D, but all the effect looks really cool in the animation. So probably that's the huge point that check animation as well. For the comic wise, I think he has really strong brush stroke style. So if you check the comic version, I think you're gonna have fun in the different little bit different art style as well. Mm-hmm. So and then comic the story wise, it's really more story going. I'm on the 11th volume right now, so probably way forward than the animation, but I won't try to spoil anything today because there's many things happen, but it's so exciting.
Yeah, see, that's my question right there is what's with the hand.
So
the hand thing, because it seems like it's almost like you've seen Vampire Hunter D. He's got the hand guy, and also in Parasite, the anime, he's got the Migi in his hand. So it's like, what's up with that?
So if you don't do you mind the spoiler?
I don't care about spoilers. I'm probably gonna binge this all tonight. So
it's all first episode stuff anyway. So it's not.
So I mean, technically, he eats that finger, right? And that finger is a cursed item that is part of the King of Curses, Sukuna. So obviously, it is going to take over him, which is that form. So it's more of a form that he has. He can go into that, or at least Sukuna can try to control him from there. So it's really interesting that they did include that as well on the SH figure. I was not expecting that. I expected the face swap, but not the hands or anything like that, which is really cool. That's a plus. Makes me excited for next year.
So he basically has this internal struggle going on, Sean, where the curse is actually trying to use his body as a vessel, and so he pops up every now and again. But it's really rare for someone to be able to sort of maintain that curse and be able to hold control over your own body. Whereas he would normally, in a typical person, he could just take control and use it as a meat suit, basically. But it doesn't work with Yuji. And so every once in a while, things will pop up, he'll have an eye on his face or on his hand because he's just trying to break through, but it doesn't really work.
Right.
And then they'll have like an internal discussion inside his mind, and they'll be fighting with each other. It's actually really funny, like in an odd couple sense, because these two are polar opposites. And Yuji is just like, he's like such an innocent dude, and all he wants to do is just, enjoy his life, and this curse is just making problems.
So since we're good with spoilers, we can talk about some of the things in the episodes, right?
Sure, go for
it.
I love when him and Sukuna are like fighting in his body after he like loses his heart or whatever. And he's like, okay, I'll make you a deal. If you can kill me, and then he just cuts his head off immediately.
No choice.
Yeah. Like, oh well, I mean, you lost, bro.
I will say, if the cons ever come up next year, I do expect to see a lot of people cosplaying either like Sukuna or Gojo, mainly Gojo, I assume.
Yeah, Gojo's everywhere.
Everyone's gonna be bumping into each other with their blindfolds.
Yeah, that's my thought too.
And like, I think like even the Proplica comes with like, I've been saying like, I think it's like temporary tattoos or stickers. Like at least that's what we saw. Like David and I saw at the Tamashi 2020.
Right.
And I'm interested to know exactly what those were, because I mean, if they're temporary tattoos, I'll be applying it on myself easily.
Yeah, it's kind of cool that this is a relatively new anime, and we already have figures and stuff for it. So usually a lot of our stuff is like legacy based, or it's stuff that comes later on the line. It's really exciting that Tamashi kind of jumped on this train right away, and we're getting figures and we're getting that Proplica, early on in the life cycle, especially for people in the West.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can look for this stuff in May is when it'll start appearing. And the images that I've been sharing are on the Crunchyroll store. So, of course, it's available at multiple retailers, but it's Crunchyroll series, so why not buy it from the Crunchyroll store, right?
Mm-hmm.
Easy peasy.
And that's where I can watch it, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And new episodes are on Fridays.
Yeah.
Okay. But now, should I start with the manga or should I start with the anime?
Yes.
It was whatever your preference. I think, if you're a fan of just reading, obviously like reading the manga, you can get through X amount of chapters so much faster than watching the anime. Like people watching are stuck literally week by week, whereas like the manga, you'll probably be caught up by the end of like the weekend or something.
Yeah. Usually what I do is I'll binge the anime until like there's no more new episodes, and then because I'm not waiting for new episodes, I'll just go read the entire manga and keep going.
Yeah. Yeah, I do it with
Is the manga translated in English right now, or is it only in Japanese?
It should be in English through the Shonen Jump app. Which is
I
free.
did watch Viz's trailer when I was watching all the trailers, and I basically binged them all this morning. I think there's 3 trailers, and then Viz has one for the manga series.
Oh,
So
cool.
Should be available through Viz.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, you should let us know how which medium you're going to watch it on, or watch or read.
I might just do both. I might take David's, or I just binging the first 6 and then read all the manga.
So it's cool because they have this school that they're going to, and they're learning how to fight these curses. And so there's other students that are in the mix, but in the first 7 episodes, we've only really gotten like a small dose of other students. And so I'm really looking forward to falling in love with a character like Mr. Clark's panda, and then that panda just getting cut in half or something. And like,
I know.
a couple episodes later.
I know it's going to happen.
He's going to leave as soon as something happens to that panda. So.
It's just setting you up for like these characters that that they're there, but one day they're just not going to make it back from a field assignment.
He'll like take the hit for the team or something, or hold back a giant cursed door or something, and you're like, oh well, I'm dead. All right, well, I know it's gonna happen. I'm ready for it.
Right,
Yeah,
and that's the thing, right? Like, because Gojo's like such a badass. Like he's the guy. The guy can destroy anybody, and then God forbid he doesn't make it one day. He loses a fight. It's going to be the most devastating thing for everybody.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like
And
the bad guys always said
everyone
that their end game is, look, we can't kill this dude. We need to seal him away. But we're like he told the fire dude, bro, don't try it. And then when it comes back as a head, he's like, I told you. Like,
Right. That's so cool. And I like how he shows us how he's beating him, like the infinite space and everything. I thought that was so cool.
Yeah, like he really embarrassed that dude. He took time to not just kill him. Like, no, I'm going to use you as a teaching lesson for my student. So please stand by.
Yeah, he's like, oh, please, let me go get my guy. I'll be right back.
Yeah, he ran all the way to hell of
That's a
school
good
and came
teacher.
back.
Yeah.
Good opportune time to teach.
That's like AJ. AJ turns everything into a teaching moment.
Yeah, we're never really worried about him. Is that Is that a problem? I mean, it's definitely fun now. Like, I'm loving watching the fights where he's just like playing with them. There come a point to where they're going to need to put a real threat in front of him, or we're going to stop like caring.
I mean, honestly, like from narrative point of view, with him being this broken, that means he is going to probably be sealed or killed, and it's going to be a huge blow, which is going to be their time to grow.
And
Basically, it's going to be
David
devastating.
has seen a lot of shonen, so he's an expert at this.
And like even like the second episode or something, he's like, "Well, are you strong enough? Could you beat him?" He's like, "I could beat him. It's okay." It's kind of funny. I love that.
His
That
confidence is,
confidence.
like, amazing.
Yeah, he's like the Fonzie. He's like, "Hey."
Right. I mean, even when you're talking about the higher ups within like their little society, like I could just kill them all and replace them, but that's a whole thing.
Right. A lot of paperwork. It's like that little guy with the glasses that's always so scared of him. Yeah, I like that guy.
Yeah, he's like, are you going to hit me? He's like, no.
Yeah, calm down, dude. Oh, that's great.
Now they're on a quest to get the 20 fingers or 18 fingers or 16 fingers and 4 thumbs, I guess. Do you think they get all of that in this first season, or do you think this is like this first season's about this super mega demon? They're going to go through the entire show with this one, or do you think it'll bleed into future seasons?
Ooh.
Anybody?
I cannot
I don't
spoil.
know. I was like, I know the answer.
Oh no, I know.
I assume it's not going to be done quickly.
It's a shonen. Like shonens like to. Is watching shonen for many years. It will be spread somehow.
I suspect that he'll finally get all 20, and then there'll be like a time skip, and I'll be like the part 2.
Time skip. Time skip.
There's always a time skip.
I can just signal every now and then. It's like, oh, you're wrong. Wink.
Right.
Yeah. Right.
Right. And Sukuna, he's branded as like the ultimate super mega curse, right? But any Dragon Ball fan knows that there's always some other Yahoo with more power. It's always better.
There'll probably be somebody he's afraid of. He'll look to do like, hey, let's work together on this thing, man. Like, oh, okay, now we're friends. Okay.
Let's see what's happening.
That's how they do things.
All right.
Yeah. That's an interesting thing that, not only shonen, but a lot of long-running shows do, to where, like, this is the ultimate mega, there's never been a threat like this in the history of the universe level person, and then 2 seasons later, it's got to be like that guy's boss that no one, apparently everyone knew about, but no one knew about, and so it becomes problematic. Maybe the show won't last that long. David, you've seen a lot of anime. Are you afraid that that's where this arc will go? They'll defeat this demon, and then all of a sudden there's another demon, and a stronger demon, and then it just, eventually we're at like the inventor of the universe.
I think they have a few options because clearly, what we've seen so far in the anime, there's clearly a group of curses and humans who are working behind the scenes to do something, clearly. So I assume that because they know Sukuna is such a threat, they either have contact with somebody who is an ultimate big bad, or they're going to be trying to make that big bad, So I assume they have some sort of contingency to make something bigger and scarier than him.
Right. They have a cursed Rolodex, and they just flip through.
They call everybody else.
It's got to be a physical one where he's got twisted though.
Yeah.
Right.
Get one of those at Staples.
What about you, Sean? Are you are you already convinced that did you come into this convinced that you were going to watch it, or do you have some questions or reservations?
Well, I had a backlog at first, and I think now that everyone's explained it, I've got to check it out just to keep relevant with all you guys. And when you guys are back in the office, you're going to be talking about like season finale and all that stuff. So I gotta.
Right.
We will. I will not.
Yeah, there could be like Shogun stuff for it too.
Yeah, and there's going to probably be Shogun for it. So
Yeah.
I gotta get down. I still have Demon Slayer in my backlog, but I guess this is going to take priority.
David, oh man.
You should have been watching Demon Slayer.
I think Justin had just started that one as well.
Yeah,
so.
I actually finally just started it. It's crazy. Love it though.
How many episodes of Demon Slayer are there?
Like 26.
Yeah, it's
Not bad.
You go right through it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the movie is coming up in Japan. It's the biggest hit.
Yeah.
True.
Biggest
I'm
hit
ready
of all
for it.
time.
we're in a really good age for anime right now. There's like a lot of good shows coming out. So
Sure. I think the key is that it's accessible. For so long, it was hard for so many people, and now with streaming services like Crunchyroll or whatever, you can just pop it on. And I was just going to the library last night. You know how like with Netflix, it usually takes you about the length of a movie to figure out what you want to watch. I was doing that with Crunchyroll last night, and I was just adding so many things to my queue. It was nuts.
Yeah. And compared to like yesterday, we were saying, VHS tapes. You got to pass them around, rewind them, give them back, and you're like, oh man, are you done? No.
Right.
But now, like the accessibility now is like, I don't need your VHS tape. I've got my own subscription, or I've got someone's password.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm sharing this account. I'm sharing the account.
Yeah.
teamwork makes a dream work. Okay.
This is true. This is absolutely true. Man.
Now, we've only got the 3 collectibles, from Tamashii Nation so far. Is there anything you've seen thus far that you would want to see created into an SH figure art or a Proplica or model kit, something?
The panda. For
Figure right standard panda. Just panda.
There you go. I know David is a big fan of the model kits, so anything
Hobby.
model version, like hobby kits, anything like that, he's in it.
Yeah.
yeah.
Hey man, figure right standard is a good line. I need more additions. I would do the kit bash of panda with like cyborg parts on it. So
Oh
please.
my god.
There you go. But David, the curses actually look pretty cool too. They all have this unique, scary look about them. So it'd be kind of neat to have bad guys to have your heroes go up against posing, like on your shelf and everything. It's cool to have all the heroes, but it's cool to have the bad guys too.
The lava guy, I hope he sticks around. He's kind of funny.
Yeah, it's got like that
Yeah.
stuff coming out of his head and everything.
He was so
Oh, it's
mad. That man was so salty.
He was bad.
That would make a good SH
The
figure.
bad guys is that they just don't stick around long enough to where this show. I don't know if there's not a lot of bad guys sticking around for very long.
Right. I mean, like, because he has Sakuna, but he just looks like a normal guy, so he wouldn't be as fun. If you have something that looks like this fire dude that Clark's talking about, he's like got a really weird vibe going on with him, and he would be a lot of fun. And then the other guy that saved him as well.
Yeah.
That guy's really creepy looking too. So
He has a fun power.
He's super creepy though. He's like, "We're the true humans." I'm like, "Bro, you don't look anything like a human."
right.
Horns coming out of your eyes. It's a bad time.
Yeah,
Bad time.
I'm normal. It's like, I'm normal. You're not.
And like how he summoned all those flowers to distract him, I thought that was really cool too.
Right.
He's like, oh wow, I don't want to fight right now. What's going on? This is weird.
Hey, that might be foreshadowing. That might be part of how they get him later on.
Yeah. It's gonna stop and smell the flowers like Ferdinand.
Fire.
Right. Oh jeez.
Well, Sean, any other questions you have for this panel, this rogues gallery of experts?
Well, to go back to actually when Justin was talking about going through Crunchyroll, I think I have the opposite issue where when I'm going through their catalog, I'll see anime that I've seen before, and I'm like, I'll watch that. Like recently, it's been trying to use Crunchyroll. It's like, oh, there's GTO. I should watch that. But I need to start just sticking to. I'll going forward. I'm gonna make sure I'm sticking to this one, Jujutsu Kaisen, and make sure I'm stuck watching that. I'm gonna leave a tab open that always has Jujutsu Kaisen open.
I love it, dude. The fights, the way they animate the fights, is amazing.
Yeah.
I love it. Like it's very, very slick, very well done.
Yeah, I think when I said the mix between the 2D and 3D, I think that's just how a lot of animation is trending nowadays. I mean, for sure, Mappa, since they're the animators, like they've been doing a wonderful job on the fight choreo with this, and I think they completely understand what they're trying to do with the action, and they're hitting it. So.
Yeah, when I see the trailer, the effect, the fighting scene was so cool. I think especially the Gojo Satoru's fighting shot is really cool effect happening. So I think that's the kind of bonus point to check the animation.
Right.
I think since it seems like you've read past his eye reveal, so then the Dominion thing that exists that happened in the manga, I think when you see that animated, it looks so amazing. Usually when like effects happen, there's always like reused scenes or something like that. But this time around, when they did that, like they encapsulated the entire thing. I was blown away by how it was animated and how it looked. So
Right.
yeah.
And one of the things I like about this show is that it seems like it's got that feel that like no one is really safe, like outside of maybe the main character. Like I feel like because you look at it like when they go to school, they say, "Hey, how come there's no one else here?" Yeah, there's not many students. Most, I guess,
pretty high mortality rate and turnover. Yeah, it's an issue.
I like that you could like no one feels safe, which is good.
Yeah. Whether you study it or you don't, like even the episode prior, like the people at the restaurant, I was like, "Whoa! Like what the heck is happening?" Like they're not safe either.
They are not back to the sequel for sure. Like,
yeah.
I was curious if it was going to show the guy that took off and running down the street. I was just curious if it was going to cut back to him and him just poof into fire, but he got away. He was smart.
That's a different anime.
Yeah,
that's Fire Force.
Man. Yeah, David, they're all at this this restaurant, and everyone just starts combusting because no one can see these curses that are around them and everything. It just looks like a guy sitting at a table, and it gets gnarly. I was like, oh my god, this is nuts! I can't watch. It's too much.
Nice. Well, for people looking to get into it, is there an anime? You guys have mentioned Naruto. Is there an anime that you would compare this to? That if you like this anime, you'll also like this one.
It's got some Naruto vibes. Like the three main characters plus their teacher are very reminiscent of Team 7 and Kakashi. The relationship between Yuji and Sukuna is very reminiscent of Naruto and the Nine-Tailed Fox in the beginning, except Sukuna is much more active in terms of trying to murder this child that he's inside of right now.
He's already achieved it like pretty much once already.
Yeah, like Nine-Tailed Fox is like, oh, I'm angry because people treat me bad. This guy's like, no, I just legitimately want to eat and kill people. Like that is what I'm about. So a little bit more of an uphill climb to try and get this guy to be his friend.
Yeah. I want to say that, as far as it being a shonen as well, it has similar vibes itself, and I think almost every shonen has a very similar vibe to it. I will say, I know a lot of people in the community have been like referencing this between Demon Slayer, and personally, I don't really see it. I mean, like the animations are both beautiful for both of them, but I don't see the correlation in it. So, whatever they're saying.
You scoff.
I look down at you.
This is no Demon Slayer.
They're both pretty though. They're wonderfully made.
Yeah. The best thing is that it's unique. It's a new set that we haven't seen before, which is good because the worst that you could get is a generic anime.
Exactly.
Because I've had some seasons watching anime where there's be like 3 or 4 shows, which I could swear to God, gun to my head, they're the same show, but they're all on the air at the same time, and so this doesn't have that problem. It definitely has its own personality. It sticks out on its own. So I think it's definitely, if you like action, if you like darker stuff, definitely something I think you should try. Definitely.
Yeah, and going back to you saying that it's very unique in its own, I think the addition to those Dominion battles, it feels new to me, at least as far as what I remember, and I don't think I've ever seen anything where we're now encapsulated into your own world space to fight.
Right.
So that's fresh for me.
Right. And it's got a really good word of mouth. It's got on Crunchyroll, I think it has 5 stars and over 4,700 positive reviews. So I don't think 4,700 people can be wrong in this particular case.
Now, are you caught up on the manga? Because AJ had told me about something that's happening right now in the manga that I skipped ahead and read, and I was like, oh, I should not have read that. So are you caught up right now?
Yeah, I mean there's so many things happening, and then want to share with you guys right now, but cannot.
I want to make us cry on camera.
Are you at like the Tokyo battle arc?
Yeah. There's one thing he told me about AJ, and I looked for it. I was like, oh no,
Sounds like bad news for your panda buddy.
No, never. Pandas forever. All right.
They're going extinct.
Oh, sad. Rip.
Yeah, Panda is my favorite too.
Nice.
Also,
There you
the
go.
robot is really good. He
There's a
shows
robot?
up.
That's the word. Those are the
Yo.
key words for David.
It's
Yo.
the classmates from the Kyoto area. The robot guy.
Bandai Hobby, I need you to get on it. I need a model.
Okay, I won't tell
I
anybody
think what happened was that
anymore.
David got more convinced to watch and stick around. So
The
if Panda guy,
A panda and robot? Yes, definitely.
Please. Well, awesome. Anything else to add, guys? Anything else you want to talk about for Jujutsu Kaisen?
Don't
I don't
eat
think
finger.
so.
Don't eat finger.
Yeah, don't eat it.
don't eat finger. Look forward to next year's SH figures, and if you're not watching it, you should be watching it.
Perfect.
Yep.
And head over to Crunchyroll to check out their little store, and you can see our SH figure arts. We got the two of them. You got Yuji and Gojo, both fantastic. And remember, Gojo has his the eye reveal, and he's got the you can take off the blindfold, which is awesome. It'll probably be interchangeable face, but either way, you can see his pretty blue eyes, and it's remarkable.
You get lost.
He's like, "What's with this finger?"
If actually, when you see it, you probably will. Like, you could pause it and just be like, "Wow, how long did they take to make that?" Like,
Right.
like what did they
that was like
think?
half their budget right there for the whole thing. It was like the eye reveal.
I believe it.
I agree.
So
yeah.
pretty.
Oh, yeah, you can see it like right there. I think
Mm.
there was a lot of people swooning as soon as they saw that reveal. Guys and girls.
So,
Yeah.
I'm like, that's next year's cosplay. That's
That is 100% next year's cosplay. I think something like that had happened also with like the Demon Slayer, was that I had noticed that there was an abundance of it, and it was starting to show up after like con after con that we kept going to. I'm like, guys, there's a lot of Demon Slayer stuff.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
at
Why did everybody
time-
come in their pajamas? Why come everyone's in a green and black checkered robe? What's happening right now?
And I think at the time, Eddie was unaware what happened, and then after I think he watched an episode or two, he's like, I do recognize things now.
Yeah.
And he's like, there are people cosplaying as that. So no doubt, I can't wait for people to cosplay these characters, especially the panda.
I think, that's the only cosplay I could do from this show, just because of my body type.
No,
It's
it
like
can
a
be a
Joe
giant
panda.
finger. Just everyone's
Yeah.
gonna dress up as a giant finger.
20 of them.
I hope
15, I guess.
next time we hit the con, I want to see 20 cosplayers, each coming as a finger, and you just roll through. Just,
There's gonna be one guy chasing him down, like,
Guy has a giant mouth like from Double Dare.
There you go.
Oh my.
Gets us more excited for next year if things go well.
they will. 2021 can't be worse.
Don't say that.
I know. Now you said something.
Yeah, dude.
Old
Now that
idea.
you said it.
Now, if it's worse, you know the blame.
Uh-huh.
That guy.
We know who to blame.
Dang.
Well, awesome. Thanks for chatting Jujutsu Kaisen with us. Like we talked about earlier, we are celebrating all things manga and anime during our main event. Go to bluefinbrands.com to check out all of our savings. While you're there, enter the contest to win this amazing bounty of Gundam Universe at bluefinbrands.com/contest. And follow us on all our social platforms at bluefinbrands, at Tamashi Nations, and we will talk to you guys soon. Bye.